Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is a stock chart analysis update. We're going to take a look at Best Buy, GME, which is the GameStop, and Raxspace. Okay, let's just start off here with Best Buy. This looks like it's pulled back right up to this trend line, right up to this diagonal. Let me pull back out of this. You can see that I've got this A, B, C, D, E, and it's rolled over out of this. It's like a big rising wedge. I'm going to call it a diagonal, but it really does look like a big wedge. It broke down out of it, and it now looks like it's pulled back up to the bottom of it. I am not getting bullish in here at this. It may surprise me. It may turn around. Moving averages may align if they all start to do that and trend lines break, etc., etc. I'll start to get a little bit more bullish, but right now I just can't get there. Let me take a look at the weekly chart to give you a little better scenario. This looks like one heck of a large topping formation to me. This is 1998, 1990, actually 6 through this year. And you could see that starting in 99, 2000, is huge topping formation right here. I mean, I draw this trend lines in here, got the dotted line for symmetrical aspects of it. This looks like it's doing a large right shoulder compared to like over here, the left shoulder. And so now when you start to zoom in, you start to say, well, okay, well, maybe this does look like it's just a counter trend rally that's been going on for a year and a half, or all of this year, I guess. Counter trend rally after this big sell-off. So the fact that we've broken down out of this wedge, out of this counter trend rally, I'm going to have a hard time getting bullish real quick. Okay, so that's why I'm looking at Best Buy the way I am. So if anything, I would be watching to see if there's another setup that would set up to the downside. So that's my perspective on Best Buy at the moment. Let's take a look at GameStop. GameStop is similar. We had this this diagonal here, and we broke down out of this diagonal. We've pulled back up in the rally that the whole market's been going through. Let's zoom back out of it a little bit. And you can see it's a similar type thing. Now, I do think that we had a zigzag correction in here. Now we had some kind of A, B, C, X wave, and we're getting another, could be a zigzag. The correction could have ended here, but I don't think so. But again, with corrective waves, you just never know what they're morphing into. I mean, you really don't. I mean, you just have to keep, like maybe if I draw a trend line across the top here and it breaks that trend line, let me kind of draw that across here, and it breaks that trend line to the upside, I might say, well, okay, maybe this thing has corrected and it's trying to get to the upside. Let's take a look at the weekly chart, because we haven't looked at these in a while. And again, similar, it looks like, I mean, whenever you have overlapping waves, it's corrective. Okay, see how this wave plays out? These waves aren't overlapping. This is an impulsive wave to the upside. That's not what's going on here. Okay, this is corrective. So when I see this, that's when I'm starting to get wary and say, okay, is it, I'm trying to watch for, is the correction over? Do we have more to go to the upside? My guess is that we got more to go to the downside. So let's take a look and see, in terms of the wave count, how it's pulling out, I have no idea at this point. I'll be totally honest. So right now we're just, looking to see, does it set back up again to the downside? Do I get it closed below the 10? Does it round back down? Get a couple consecutive closes below the 10. So, that's what we're going to watch it for. No particular setup at this point, but I can't get bullish on it right now. Now, Raxspace, on the other hand, it's kind of interesting. Raxspace is struggling here. It's been rallying over the last few weeks, actually, since September 23rd. So the whole time this market's been selling off, Raxspace has been slowly inching its way up. So that's not strong and impulsive either. Here's the other thing let's take a look at the weekly chart real quick. Okay, so the weekly chart is a little interesting here. You had this big move from 2009, big move up, and now we had this big ABC move. And there's a possibility, since it corrected 71% of this entire move, it's a possibility that this corrective move is done. Okay, that's a lot of corrective move. It's pretty deep. So now, we're still getting a little overlap in here, but this is getting interesting, and you'll see in a minute as I get back to the daily in here. Let me draw the trend line across. We could have some kind of bottom forming that's like a little head and shoulders bottom of some kind. Okay. But we need some cooperation on this right hand side. Let's go back to the daily chart. So this is what I'm kind of looking for. I mean, this was a pretty nice move here. Pretty good, pretty solid. Let's zoom back out of this, and you'll see the symmetry that I'm talking about. Let me may have gone a little too far. Okay, so let me get this again. This looks like a shoulder and a head and a shoulder that's forming. Okay. Now, the interesting thing about this whole thing is you got this move down here, okay? You got this move down here. Now you've gotten this kind of a zigzag move up. Now you're getting this zigzag move up. And then it pulls back down. So now I'm watching to see, does it pull back down? And it goes a little bit deeper in here. But doesn't go quite as deep as this. And again, sometimes these things get a little bit off. You can see the symmetry that was in here, but this one took a little bit longer. Okay. So the bottom line is right now I'm watching this. I'm not ready to jump in and buy. I'm thinking we may have one more little leg down to the downside, and then we go if this is truly doing a big head and shoulders bottom. So that's the scenario I'm watching for. We'll see if that plays out that way. Other than that, I'm not ready to jump in and get, and buy anything right here. Notice how it came up here and just closed this gap too. That's the other thing. So it's inched its way back up, and then yesterday it closed the gap, and the low here was 36.51. The high yesterday 36.48, so it did it within 3 cents. Okay, so that's closing a gap in my book. So anyway, that's my assessment on Raxspace. That's why I'm watching it. I'm not ready to get into it, but we're watching it. So, all right, that's it for tonight. Those are the three I wanted to update on, and we'll be back on Saturday and look at the market and look at three more. Actually, I've got another update tomorrow, a quick update on. We'll take a look at some of the semiconductor stocks. We'll take a look at Adobe, MU, NXPI, and SanDisk. So those are the four I'm gonna look at. Adobe, I think MU is Micron, I believe. I don't have everything totally memorized, but I believe it is Micron. Micron Technology, yes. And NXPI is NXP Semiconductors. Okay, so those are the four we're going to take a look at real quick tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we'll look at Expedia, Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, Lulu, and Whole Foods.